Hello, and welcome to the first episode of my Big Pharma series. I'm Exterminator, and thanks for joining me. So, Big Pharma is a game that is it's kind of a management sim, a business sim. It's a lot of things combined. It's been kind of in development by the dev for a while, and it's just now getting released. This video will be out on Thursday. Their time. It'll be out Friday, US time, and yeah, so that's when the open beta starts. So it's in beta. The dev has been, developing it for some time, and it's pretty awesome. I really like this game. It's a lot like Factorio, in a way. Parts of it are a lot like Factorio, parts of it aren't. There is the, conveyor belts. That's that's one thing, but yeah, pretty much the premise. I'm going to explain it really quick and then we'll hop into the game. And let me turn down this a little bit. Let me know how the sound and video quality is, as this is the first episode. It's always hard to know what it's going to look like on YouTube. But yeah, Big Pharma is pretty much, the premise is you own a pharmaceutical company, and your goal is to, produce all these different drugs, pharmaceuticals and stuff for the public. And, your goal is to help cure them, but also to make as much profit as you can, which is funny because that's like how it is in the real world, just making profit. But yeah, so pretty much you can see we have all these machines back here in the background. You get these ingredients in, and I'll explain it more once we get in the game, and then you have to use these machines to refine them and, add stuff to them and do different stuff to get your final product, and then you can sell it on the market and get money for it, and then also cure people. And the more people you cure, the less valuable it becomes, so eventually it's not really going to be useful for you to really even do that. And, you have competitors, AI competitors, and it's really interesting. So we hop into a new game here. Pretty much this is a little different than something like Factorio, and I'll probably refer to Factorio a lot, not because I'm like purposely trying to say one's better than the other or not. Neither one is better than the other one, but Factorio I think is a good reference since that's a lot of what's on my channel already. But one thing you'll notice is kind of different is there's pretty much just challenges. It's not really a totally sandbox open world game. Like within the challenges, you can mess around and kind of do what you want, especially for like ones like this where your goal is to just make a certain amount of money in a certain amount of time. But you have these different levels, and each one has challenges within it. Each one has 5 challenges within it. And that's pretty much what the game is right now. Again, it's in beta, and there's in-game tutorials. There's 4 of them right now, and there's also tutorial videos on their website. I'm going to be doing tutorial videos. I know a lot of other people probably will be, so you definitely probably want to check these out, check out videos, because it's pretty complex, actually. So what we're going to do is we're going to hop into here. And you can see beginner, a small scenario with reduced research and cure trees. Settings are tweaked to make for an easier game. Map size 2x2, number of competitors 1, starting cash 50,000. And our goal here for this first challenge is to earn a total revenue of, is that $1 million or 10 million? I kind of wish they put commas in there. I think that's $1 million within 10 years. So what we're going to do is we're going to hop in here, and you get to name your company. Let's see. Well, let's do something kind of boring and just do XT Productions. Exterminator Productions. And you can choose your people. There's a few different options. That's about it. I'm going to choose this guy because he looks like the least sleazy. Or do I want the most sleazy? What about... Nah, that guy's too busy. Let's do Chan. Okay. Alright, so you start out and this little square here, and you can expand to these neighboring areas, and then you can also expand into buildings. And again, I'm not going to spend these videos like going over like everything, because that's what the tutorial videos are going to be for, and then tutorials other people do. I will explain a few things so you're not totally lost, because this video is coming out like right when the game is released, so a lot of people won't know what it's about. And again, it's really quite loud. I don't know if it's too loud for you. If you want to hear more of the music. Okay, so we have this here, and pretty much what we want to do is I'm going to pause the game, because time will still tick along even when we're not doing anything. You have all these different tabs. So what I want to do first is, well, first of all, these sockets. Pretty much what they do is it's where you import your ingredients and then export your finished product. You can't import and export through the same one. So like, for example, I'd like import the ingredient here, put my machines over here, and export here. Excuse me. It's kind of interesting, because usually it seems like you always end up with one that's not being used. Or maybe I just suck at it, but what I want to do first is go to ingredients and then cures, because for this particular challenge, you know, I just want to earn this amount in 12 years, 10 years, 10, 12, however many years. And really my goal is just to see which thing is worth the most once I complete it. So if we take a look here, these are ingredients, and this is like what it like it's a little hard to explain. This is what it will turn into. This is like the drug it will turn into once you get its concentration up to where it needs to be. You can see the concentration value here is 14. We need to get it in the green area for this to become active. So it needs to be 15 to 19. Now this can be a little confusing, because when you first mouse over this, you'll see that says 16 to 18 prerequisites, pre-requirements to upgrade it to alleviate stomach ulcers, and you upgrade it with an evaporator machine. You can see that's different than this. This here is what we need to achieve to get our calms acid reflex. What the pre-requirements are what is required to get your alleviate stomach ulcers. So then we have this guy here. He's at 6 concentration. We need to get him down to 5. So I kind of see these are the two I have. I can research more. What I'm going to do really is look at this. Okay, so this is kind of what you'll be looking at a lot. This shows like what cures you're making, what cures you're able to make at the moment. So right now we can really just make these two. We only have the 2 ingredients. And you can see right now this would sell for $124 per pop, per pill, and this sells for 108. This demand is 100, this demand is 110%. You can, so I'm clicked on this treats diabetes. You can go here and see how many people need it, how many people you have distributed it to, and how many people have you permanently cured. One thing to note is this saturation increases kind of in relation to both of these, and once it reaches 100, it actually starts decreasing your net demand. So that's kind of when it starts becoming less advantageous to make the thing, when you're potentially spending more money making it than you are actually getting from it. So right off the bat, I can see, well, this has a higher demand and it's worth more money to begin with, so that's what I want. Now, one thing we can do is if we go back to production here, let's check our machines. Okay, so we only have a dissolver and evaporator. Dissolver decreases concentration by 1, evaporator increases it by 1. And then these two basically do the same thing, but they increase and decrease it by 3. So if we go back to our cures here, we can see if I had this, I could, because what I do a lot of times is just skip this entirely. Like if I have this machine, I'll just be like, screw it, I can get more than double the amount of money for this product than I can for this one, and all I need to do is just get the concentration to here and just upgrade it with this. So it's like, well then, you know, I might as well just skip this. I don't have this yet. Now with this, I probably could, because I have an evaporator. I could just skip this one and get to here. However, the one problem though is this is where it gets kind of confusing, is you need this concentration is a requirement to be able to upgrade it. Then you actually do the upgrade with the evaporator, and once it comes out of the evaporator, it's upgraded, but it won't be active. So then you need to get the concentration either up or down to whatever it needs to be to activate this upgraded thing. And as far as I know, I can't actually see what that is going to be until I actually go and do it. So the problem with that is it's like, yeah, I could get it to here. Yes, I could upgrade it with the evaporator, but it's like, okay, so if the concentration is, let's say, 16, what if this needs to be down to 10 to actually become active? It's like, I would need a ton of dissolvers to even be able to get it there, and the price of those would just like totally counteract this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start with this because it's worth more to begin with. So treats diabetes. What we want to do is go here and grab this, import, and select the slot. You can also do it the other way, where you select the slot first and it brings you to the ingredients thing, and then you do it. So I'm going to select, I'm going to go this one. So we're importing our ingredient, and you can see here, this is the cost per, I guess per amount, per quantity of ingredient. So each time it sends one in, that's how much money we lose. Okay, so we click here, treats diabetes. Okay, so I just need to get the concentration down by 1. Well, that's easy. Let's just stick a dissolver, and a lot of people like stick a belt here and then do the dissolver. You don't actually need to do that, and I like to save as much, save as much as much room as possible. You have to be careful. So this green arrow is the input, red arrow is the output. If I do this, it's not gonna work. So you can rotate it like with WSAD, the mouse wheel, whatever. I could do this and it would work. I could do that and it would work. And I think that's what I'm gonna do. So input, output. I have to unpause the game for it to actually do anything. Okay, so we watch this. You can see, boom, it becomes active. And we have it. And then all we need to do is a pill printer to actually turn it into a pill form. And sorry, I'm just thinking, potentially that was a very bad move. Damn. Okay, screw this. I changed my mind. I didn't really think that it would actually be that easy, so I'm going to stick it over here and use this slot. Okay, one thing you will want to notice is the process time. This process time is 1. And if we go over here to our pill maker, the process time is 2, so it's half the speed, which means it's actually ideal in our favor, if I could ever get this damn thing to work, to do this. That will make it so there's no backup. You know, this is kind of where part of the, you know, the Factorio comparison comes in, is optimizing things. Right, so if I go here and say stop, then I can just import drug here, use diabetes, boom. So we've lost some money, quite a bit, but this should turn out to be a profit once it actually like gets going. So what you have to do is take into account your process cost, because each of these costs an amount every time it does something. And it might actually help if I connected this, but this way our ratios are correct, so this should run pretty much at complete efficiency once it actually gets going. So once we get here, we're tempted and prompted to name it Diabetes Mate. I suck with names, so I might just leave a lot of these as default. Diabetes be gone. I don't know. I suck with names. If you guys, one thing I could do is, if you guys want one of these drugs named after you, put your whatever name you'd like down in the description or the comments of these videos, and I will add it. You know, when I make a new drug, it will be named after you. So that's something I can do. And as you can see, we are making $81 profit. Woohoo! And if we go to our company, this is kind of an overview. Our total revenue over this entire time, or last 12 months rather, is this amount: production, ingredients, processing, operating profit, operating margin, workforce. We don't have any of these yet. We don't have loans, profit, capital expenditure, change in cash, so on and so forth. And then we can go to our competitors and kind of compare the same thing. So if you see, we've actually beat out our competitor right here, the Gamma Group. Our total revenue is actually higher, and so is our profit, just slightly. So now that that's going, what I can do is either wait for it to just save up. What I'm really gonna do is you can hire a scientist for $3,000 bucks, $30 a day, even when they're not doing anything. And while they're not doing anything, they earn you these points, which you can use to like upgrade things to make them cheaper. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna assign him to an ionizer, if I remember correctly, because that is what we needed to upgrade this baby to get here. Now it has 1% less demand than this, but you can see we also get like, what is that, like $39 more from this each time. So I think this is still worth it, and we already have this being made. So I'm just gonna go here and assign him. Boop, flies over there, and it will take 3 months. You can see a little progress bar here. And yeah, I think that might actually be it for this first video. As the videos go on, you know, they'll be a little faster paced. I'm not going to be explaining as much, so it'll be kind of like a normal Let's Play. I just kind of wanted to explain the basic things in this first video so people aren't entirely lost. But yeah, you know, if you have any questions, definitely leave them in the comments. Any other feedback, what you think of the series, what you think of the game, anything, I'd love to hear it. And yeah, I think that'll be it, guys. So as always, thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed, and until next time, I look forward to seeing you all, and take care.